What's going on, everybody? Lil Chris here to bring you another episode of Pool Talk, where I cover topics related to the game of pool and what's going on in the pool world, but most importantly, to be able to interview my fellow pool players. And today, I'm joined by Brian. Brian, thanks for joining me for another episode of Pool Talk.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. You know, what got you into playing pool and how long have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing for about 5 years now, and I went to a bar one time, and I was playing poker, and they said, "You want to join a league?" I was like, "Sure." Just play, and I play, but I've never joined a league, so I was like, "That's cool." And then I went and joined a team, and been playing since then.
Okay, so clearly since you joined a league, you obviously got your own equipment here. What are we dealing with?
This first one is just a player's cue, just your normal, everyday kind of just basic intro type stick. It's got a little bit of a grip that it's worn out because I played with it so much because it was my first one. And then recently, about 2 years ago, I got another cue, and this cue is a two-piece. That's two different pieces, not one. But this is the 8-Ball Mafia. It's got a little bit of a rubber grip there and some little bit of a,
Decal,
yeah. And then the top is a katana, and I believe the tip is a Kamui medium.
Nice. That's one of my favorite kind.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned leagues, and I can see that on your case here. You got plenty of APA league patches there. So obviously you play APA. What's your skill level in there?
Skill was 5 in 8-ball, 5 in 9-ball. So
Nice. So a consistent thing, because I know a lot of times that most players, their 8-ball and 9-ball rankings won't actually match.
Right,
One will
right.
actually be better than the other. So that's really cool. Do you play any BCA at all or anything?
just straight APA. I've always wanted to get into BCA, and I've heard of Napa and other ones, and they've asked me if I wanted to do Masters. I was like, I don't know about that.
Okay, cool. What about tournaments? Have you played in any tournaments?
I have. I've played quite a few in our area. A couple different bars have hosted tournaments, and I've gone down to Round Rock, down to Skinny Bob's. Played in, I believe it was a 9-0 ball open. Did fairly well. Got a couple rounds deep. Didn't place or get money, but I did pretty well. I think I beat a couple people. So.
Good, because it's always worth the experience, especially to play in an event like the Texas State Open. Speaking of the Texas State Open, sometimes pros actually go in there. Has there been any pro that has inspired you as far as the game, or a pro that you follow of any sorts?
Realistically, not one inspired me. I just love the game so much that I actually go and I watch as much video as I can on YouTube and just watch and learn what they're doing. I kind of pause it and see where they're shooting and doing what they're doing and saying, oh, okay, well, why did you do this? Or I would do this and then see if it happened. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't, but every once in a while I'll get it right.
Nice. That actually leads me into my next question here, because if you're doing this much studying as far as watching pros and figuring out what they do and see if you can replicate it or anything else, as a league player or even someone that plays tournaments or just even do you have a goal? What is your end goal as far as playing in this sport, or are you just playing it just for pastime, just to have fun?
A bit of both. Realistically, I would think if I had to say what my goal is try to be the best that I can be, because realistically, some players, they can't get to a certain level. They just can't. They just don't have the skill set, or they don't have the drive. And so I just want to try to get as high and as best as I can, and I'm always learning. That's the thing about pool, is you're always constantly learning. You don't know everything. I mean, pros, yes, they probably do know everything, but as amateurs, we don't know everything, and so we're constantly learning, growing, and getting better as a game. And that's what most leagues do, is they try to spread the game, they try to grow, try to help players, try to get better. Now, there are some bad apples, but hey, what sport doesn't have bad apples?
So when you mentioned that you want to try to be the best that you can possibly be, I mean, does that include as far as going pro, or is there a limit to whatever your goal actually is?
I mean, if I could get to that point, I would love to. That would be great. I would love to be able to play this game for a living. But realistically, I probably don't believe I probably have the skill set to be a pro to play at that level. I could. I mean, I need the training, but yeah.
Okay, so cool. Because like I don't have any ambitions on being a pro, but like yourself, I do enjoy playing the game,
Right.
and I just like to be able to compete. And there are certain tournaments that I go to that I just can't compete in, and so to be able to compete in those would pretty much be my end goal.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. Let's try to close this out. Is there any type of situation or moment or shot or something that has happened at League, any type of experience that you've had at this game in the 5 years that you've played that you'll basically never forget, something that is really currently has stuck with you? And clearly, as you play on, there might be another moment that creeps its way in. But as of right now, is there anything you'd like to share with everybody that has really left a mark on you that you'll never forget?
I guess if there was one thing, would be I had a teammate on a team that his first ever break in League, he got an 8 on the break.
This is APA.
APA.
Well, that's one way to start off the league
Yeah,
then.
exactly. His first ever break in the league, he got an 8 on the break, and I was like, that's just incredible. Like, because I've known a lot of players that play 10, 12, 15 years, never get one. And he ended up getting one on his first break on his rack, and but unfortunately he's not with us anymore. We miss him a lot, but that's the good thing about leagues is that you get to meet friends and get to meet different people and get to just enjoy people. But then again, there's the bad part is some people do leave us, and unfortunately,
Life is life.
exactly.
So yeah, that's really awesome. I can only imagine what my kind of reaction I would have had if my first league experience was that I won my first match by dropping the 8 ball on the break.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Well, thank you for at least doing this interview with me. I'm always happy to have new people. Yeah, so if you like what you saw here, obviously give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to get out there and see more and more people. Ladies, where are you at? I need to get a lady on here to do an interview with. But in the meantime, take care of yourself and don't forget to subscribe.